Alright, let's give Friday's Daily Puzzle on chess.com a shot. This one's called Hide and Seek. It's white to move. Give the video a pause and try it yourself if you feel like it. Alright, well this is a check. Bishop is pinned. And this is hanging. But this is checkmate. Alright, so I'm very close to getting checkmated. It feels like my queen and my knights might be able to do something here. So knights have, that knight has those. If I go here, the king has to go to the corner. And then I can hop here. Is this just mate in 3? Nothing's seeing over here. I was looking at this, which I think forces this. And then I have this, which I think forces the king back. And then I have this, which is mate. I mean, I must be missing something. That's way too easy. Right? I get check. The king only has one move, it's here. Check. Nothing's covering that square. My knight has this square, my other knight has this square. I'm checking the king. The king has to go back to where it was. And then my queen... Oh, this isn't protect. Okay, that's the problem. I thought for some reason I thought my knight had this square, so I can't. I mean, that could still be the line, but this would be a queen sacrifice. And I wasn't realizing that. Okay. I do kind of like that. I like getting my knight to here. I don't think I can get other pieces in there, though. So knight here. It sucks that my knight blocks the pawn. So maybe I do jump here, and then I, like, do something else. Because so check, here, check. The king ends up back on the same square. But it's nice that my knight got in there. I don't see it. I don't know what that is. Okay. What else could be done here? Could it be the queen sacrifice immediately? King would have to take that. And I don't even have a reasonable check. Those are all stupid. Okay, would this queen sacrifice be reasonable at all? Yeah, maybe actually. Because I was thinking if I can get the king over here, the bishop comes into play. So if I sack the queen here, you have to take that. If the only other move would be to the corner, and this would be mate. So check, king takes, knight check. And I just noticed that all of these squares are taken away. So the king has to go to this square right here. So I'm thinking queen sack, king here, knight check, king here, bishop check is mate. There it is. So yeah, it's just the queen sacrifice right here. Right? Let me calculate that one more time. So queen sacrifice absolutely forces the king to take, because the only other move is to the corner. Only other legal move is to the corner, and then this is mate. Protected by my knight. So here is forced. Knight check. I've got every square covered. So checking. This is covered by the pawn. This is covered by the knight. This is covered by my other knight. This is covered by the knight. So the king absolutely has to go right here. And after that, I go here. My knight is still on this square, taking away these two squares. This knight is going to be here, taking away this square. And my bishop takes away this square, and that's checkmate. So queen sack, knight check, bishop takes. So mate in 3, but some of those other lines looked really good, and you had to calculate that they didn't work before you got to that queen sacrifice. So that was relatively tricky, I think. Let's run that back one time. All right, so I was looking at a couple different lines for a while. This check looked sort of interesting because the king doesn't have all that many squares. King would have to go here, and then I can hop in here. And I was looking at this for a while, trying to figure out how I could make it work, trying to get my knight involved, but it didn't work. And then I started looking at queen sacrifices. This one looked kind of interesting, but I'm probably not going to be able to make a checkmate happen with just my 2 knights. And then this started to look interesting to me. I started thinking about how do I get my bishop involved? Because right now my bishop is pinned, and this bishop is hanging. But if I can force the king over here, there looks like there might be a mating net here. So I finally realized that sacrificing the queen absolutely forces the king to take, because the only other legal move is for the king to go to the corner. If that happens, then I can just checkmate like that. So the king has to take this. And after the king takes, it's walking towards the center. I give this check, and my knights just take away everything. This pawn has this square, so the king only has one square to move to. It is right there. And then my bishop hops in to give the checkmate. So it's just a mate in 3, but it's a pretty busy position, so it took me a while to get to the idea. But we got there, too. There it is. Thanks for watching. Catch you later.